A reading from the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 7. Do no evil, and evil will not overtake you. Shun wrong, and it will avoid you. My child, do not sow in the furrows of wickedness, or you may have to reap them 7 times over. Do not ask the Lord for the highest place, or the king for a seat of honor. Do not parade your righteousness before the Lord, or your wisdom before the king. Do not scheme to be appointed judge, or you may not be strong enough to stamp out injustice, or may be swayed by someone influential, and so risk the loss of your integrity. Do not wrong the general body of citizens, and so lower yourself in popular esteem. Do not be drawn to sin twice over, for you will not escape punishment even once. Do not say, "He will be impressed by the number of my offerings. Whenever I sacrifice to God Most High, He will accept it." Do not lose heart at prayer. Do not neglect to give alms. Do not laugh at someone who is sad of heart, for there is one who humbles and who raises up. Do not make up lies against your brother or sister, nor do this against a friend. Mind, you tell no lies, for it is a habit that leads to no good. Do not talk too much at the gathering of elders, and do not repeat yourself at your prayers. Do not shirk tiring jobs or farm work ordained by the Most High. Do not attach yourself to the ranks of sinners. Remember that retribution will not delay. Be very humble, since the recompense for the godless is fire and worms. Do not exchange a friend for money, nor a true companion for the gold of Ophir. Do not turn against a wise and good wife. Her devotion is worth more than gold. Do not ill-treat a slave who is an honest worker, or a wage earner who is devoted to you. Love an intelligent slave with all your heart, and do not deny freedom to such a one. Children, have you cattle? Look after them. If they are making you a profit, keep them. Have you children? Educate them. From childhood, make them bow the neck. Have you daughters? Take care of their bodies, but do not be overindulgent. Give a daughter in marriage, and you have finished a great work, but give her to a man of sense. Have you a wife to your liking? Do not turn her out, but do not trust yourself to one whom you hate. Parents, with all your heart, honor your father. Never forget the birth pangs of your mother. Remember that you owe your birth to them. How can you repay them for what they have done for you? Priests, with all your soul, revere the Lord and admire His priests. With all your might, love Him who made you, and do not neglect His ministers. Fear the Lord and honor a priest, and give him the portion enjoined on you. First fruits, sacrifice of reparation, offering of a shoulder, sanctification sacrifice, first fruits of the holy things. The poor and afflicted, and also give generously to the poor, so that your blessing may lack nothing. Let your generosity extend to all the living. Do not withhold attention, even from the dead. Do not turn your back on those who weep, but share the grief of the grief-stricken. Do not shrink from visiting the sick, Such people will love you in return. In everything you do, remember your end, and then you will never sin. The word of the Lord. A reading from the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 8, Prudence and Common Sense. Do not try conclusions with the influential in case you later fall into their hands. Do not quarrel with the rich in case such a person's wealth outweighs yours, for gold has destroyed many and has swayed the hearts of kings. Do not contend with the argumentative. Do not pile wood on that fire. Do not make fun of the uneducated for fear of hearing your ancestors insulted. Do not revile a repentant sinner. Remember that we all are guilty. Do not despise the old. After all, some of us too are growing old. Do not gloat over a death. Remember that we all have to die. Tradition. Do not scorn the discourse of the wise, but make yourself familiar with their maxims, since from these you will learn discipline and how to serve the great. Do not dismiss what the old people have to say, for they too were taught by their parents. From them you will learn understanding and how to give a timely answer. Prudence. Do not set light to the coals of the sinner in case you scorch yourself in the blaze. Refuse to be provoked by the insolent, for fear that such a one lies in wait to trap you in your words. Do not lend to anyone who is stronger than you are. If you do, count it as a loss. Do not stand surety beyond your means. If you do, be prepared to pay up. Do not go to law with a judge, for judgment will be given according to his decision. Do not go traveling with a rash man, for fear he becomes burdensome to you. He will act as the whim takes him, and you will both be ruined by his folly. Do not argue with a quick-tempered man. Do not go with him into lonely country, since blood counts for nothing in his eyes, and he will strike you down where no help is to be had. Do not ask a fool for advice, since a fool will not be able to keep a confidence. In a stranger's presence, do nothing that should be kept secret, since you cannot tell what use the stranger will make of it. Do not open your heart to all comers, and do not expect a return for your favor. The word of the Lord.